trouble getting in the room here. Brandon, turn your camera on. We want to see your pretty face.
There we go.
Oh, I hear you, but I don't see you.
You hear me, and now you see me.
Ah!
Ta-da! It's magic.
Perfect. Brandon, do you want to intro us in?
All right. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. You might be even listening to this show in the middle of the night. I'm Brandon Houck, along with Imogen Cookie Bailey, Frankie McDonald. This is the Comediorological Report, where we tell you how much the weather sucks in Canada, yo. And it sure does suck today. Oh, my goodness. Yes, you're watching this show on Shaw Spotlight, and Comediorological, comedy plus meteorology equals Comediorology. And yes, get ready to rumble, because we have a great show for you tonight. Yes, we do. And first off, we'll bring in the big guy, Frankie McDonald. Frankie, what's happening in Nova Scotia and all around the world?
Frankie, we can't hear you.
Oh no.
Frankie's been having a lot of audio problems. His sound has been in and out.
And typhoon just hit South Korea. It was really bad. So South Korea brought so much rain and wind. Big waves splash on beaches, shores in South Korea. Typhoon was really bad, causing powerful winds, knocking out power in Seoul, South Korea, home in the 1998 Olympics.
Oh dear.
Oh man.
There's a deadly heat wave heading for Vancouver, British Columbia next week, and Seattle, Portland, and that's going to hit Imogen Bailey next week. Temperature's going to be so hot. Brian Smith requested me to do the weather report. Weather's going to be dangerously hot in Portland, Oregon next week. It's been a big rainstorm in Norway earlier in the week. Brought so much flood and smashed a vehicle into a bridge in Norway because the floodwaters are so dangerous over Norway, including capital Norway.
Floodwaters are going to smash the vehicles into the bridges? That's different.
It was really, really, really bad, including also Norway. It's even affecting Warsaw, Poland earlier in the week, and Latvia, and Riga, Latvia, and all these places.
Mm-hmm. And have you heard about the big fire in Hawaii?
It was really, really bad fire in Hawaii right now. It's important in Oregon.
Can you repeat that? Your sound cut out a little bit.
These are my fans.
Oh, we got more fans.
Hi, guys.
We're actually
Yes.
get a picture with
This is Brandon Houck.
Yeah, we're live streaming.
Hi.
Hi.
you. Guys, how you doing?
Oh, we're doing great.
Okay, here. I got Nick right here.
How's the weather in Sydney, Nova Scotia for you guys?
Here we let's take
Thank you so
one
much.
more.
They don't want to hear from us. They just
No.
want a picture with Frankie.
Just want a picture of Frankie. That is awesome.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, my fans have met me. It was great so far. Down New Zealand, it's right now.
Down in New Zealand, what's happening?
Heavy snow.
Heavy snow. Oh, yes. Yeah, especially higher elevations are really getting to that snow that fall there. And I believe higher elevations in
Lots of storms
Australia as
going
well.
on in southern Chile and South Africa right now. So many storms going on in Chile right now, southern Chile and southern Argentina. And Antarctica,
Can you repeat that last part?
in Antarctica, it's going to bring daylight soon. In Antarctica, including McMurdo Station.
Oh, okay. So does Antarctica have permanent night right now? Is that what's happening?
Their night is coming to an end, but there'll be entry daylight.
Oh, good. Okay, so that's how everyone knows that it's time to get up, is the sun will rise. So they get do the scientists get to come out of hibernation?
Scientists will be going down there in October, November, December.
They don't go down there when it's dark?
Because it's their winter. It's daylight 24 hours a day in Antarctica in summer. Next week, Inuvik, Northwest Territories, and Dawson, Yukon, and Fort McPherson, Northwest Territories. Leaves will be changing colors up there.
Cool. Okay. What color are the leaves now?
It's going to turn red, orange, yellow, brown up in Inuvik next week.
That's awesome. So Frankie, just before we started, you're telling me about the storms that are hitting Brandon right now. What's going on in Brooks, Alberta?
Lots of severe thunderstorms right now, large hail, heavy downpours, possible tornado.
Possible what? Oh, you lost audio again, bud.
Uh-oh.
Possible tornado in
Oh,
Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
so Brandon, you've I got to see a whole lot of tornadoes this summer. Is a tornado warning something you really like? How serious do you take it when it's that common? What is that like?
How serious do I take it? Oh boy, I used to take it very seriously, but now that I'm partially a storm chaser and a weather geek, I'm like, oh my god, tornado warning! And I run outside and oh boy. Yeah, today at the block party that we were at today, I was like running around the streets like a chicken pretty much, and it was a fun time. I was probably the only one having fun. Actually, no, everybody had a good time, but until that wind picked up and took our so we have this kind of fold up table that we put our station on. So when we have our station on this fold up table and the speakers that are lined up, so the wind picked up and took the fold up table and blew it across the street and the speakers and then shut our music off. I was like, this is awesome. Meanwhile, other radio hosts or four other radio hosts ran over there to fix everything. And yeah, it was, well, I was trying to hold the the bins of potato chips because we don't want the potato chips to fly away, right? Because they're valuable, aren't they? So I'm holding the potato chips while they're going over saving the radio equipment.
You know what? I'd be doing the same thing because to be fair, when it comes to the potato chips with enough wind speed going on, those things turn into ninja stars. All of a sudden you got like rippled shurikens flying through the air.
That's right. That's right. And they're all, yeah, in bowls. So these bowls would have just lofted in the air and then took the potato chips into somebody's yard and they would have had potato chips all over their yard. And that would be devastating.
It's vandalism that you don't necessarily want. So
That's right.
is that vandalism or is that littering?
More or less so littering, I guess. Yeah.
Is it still littering if it's biodegradable or compostable? What's the rule on that? Where do we draw the definition of the lines?
Well, potato chips, I'd say they're littering, yeah.
I mean, being technically FDA approved for human consumption doesn't really mean they're food, but we eat them anyway because they're delicious.
Yes. Hold on, this did something here. Okay, go.
We did something. So
Yeah, it's
block party,
wanted to shut down. I'm like, no, do not shut down.
you had enough of that with the storm blowing up the block party. So
That's right.
what was the block party like? Things were going great. At what point did the storm kick in and ruin things? Like how long were things going? What was the turnout like?
Well, we had about 60 people, so not too bad. It was a little smaller of a block. Usually we have over 100 and 300 people show up to these things. So
Oh.
today was a little lesser of a crowd, which was okay because we had this storm rolling in an hour in. So yeah, so it only lasted an hour and everybody got their food and everything and ran to their houses and we're standing out there. Okay. There's the storm rolling in. Big shelf cloud, an incredible shelf cloud on this thing. I got myself a shelfie because that's what you do when you have a big shelf cloud rolling over the neighborhood there. I had to, and it's really hard to get a really good shot of the shelf cloud because you have all these houses in the way and trucks in the way. So you have to go around the houses, the trucks. You got to find the right spot to get the right picture. But we still did it. We got her done today. And yeah, and then the wind picked up and then the rain came down. I was drenched. That's the best part. You just get drenched.
Oh, no kidding. I saw the picture that you had posted earlier of it. That was delightful.
Oh yeah.
Very happy.
I was probably the only one very happy when the storm hit and my boss is telling me, shut it. Yes, I was.
Come on. Really?
She was joking. She's funny.
That's good. I mean, you're making the most out of it. You're having a good time. Everyone's having a good time. Block parties
Yeah.
rolling. People are coming out, and then all of a sudden the weather's getting dark and terrifying. And
Yep.
I mean, you're in Alberta, so you got nothing but tornado threats.
Yep.
That's yeah. Tornadoes seem exotic where I am. We have
Oh,
such
yeah.
mild weather all year, constantly, nothing but. And then all of a sudden, we hear tornadoes, and it's the scariest thing ever.
Yeah.
Just blue sky.
Well, the other good part of this, because it was a small block party, we had a lot of food left over. And you will not believe what I brought home tonight. I brought home a kind of like a whole bowl full of corn on the cob and 5 bags of chips, 5 things of buns, and 6 packages of burgers. So I think I should be good for the next little while here.
So when the inevitable huge tornado does hit, you're good. You got your burgers and your chips.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the Twinkie count? Did you get to snag a bunch of Twinkies, or is that just not really part of it?
We didn't have any Twinkies, no, but we had even better floats. That's what we do. Yes, we do floats.
You know what? I'm gonna challenge you on that one. Scrabble rules, yo. There is nothing better than a fat sack of Twinkies.
Oh yeah.
I'm biased, but Twinkies are one of nature's perfect candies. They're one of the most delightful foods ever made. They're just plain delicious. I don't know what that cake is made of, but it compresses to a nice greasy kind of textured oil, and the filling, I don't know what that is. I have a lot of years in the kitchen, and I cannot recreate that texture. It defies physics. It defies food, but it is so perfect. And then when you get the ones all rolled in coconut that are colored like noxious pink and just dipped in coconut. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's not food, but we eat it anyway. It's so good.
Yeah, I've had it. I think I've had a couple Twinkies before. Yeah.
Yeah, you have. There is no one in Canada who has not eaten a Twinkie. I don't believe that that's really a thing. I don't believe there's anyone out there who has never actually tried them. I mean, Hostess discontinued the Twinkie at one point, and there was a public rebellion. There was a mass revolt, despite the fact that nobody was buying Twinkies for years. Like the sales were just plummeting. And then all some people realized how much they missed them and loved them, because Twinkies don't advertise. And it's easy to forget your favorite things when you don't see it often. But oh yeah, I've never given up on the Twinkies.
That is
long
awesome.
weekends.
Oh. Yeah, so yeah, and I believe areas to the southwest had a tornado watch this evening too. So areas right around Etsicom, they had that tornado watch, and then we had the severe thunderstorm watch. And we missed the core of the storm. That's the part is it's disappointing. We missed the full core. So we would have, if we got hit by that core, we would have got the hail. We would have got the at least flash flooding rains, but we got sideswiped, but we still got it. So I'm all good on this end here, getting sideswiped. That means the party would have lasted a lot lesser, a half an hour instead of an hour. So we did good on that part.
You got a solid hour.
Forecasted so well today. My goodness, bang on 6 o'clock. Boom, storm's here. And so we're gonna have a storm in the block party, and I brought my raincoat, and I came prepared with my swimming trunks and my raincoat. And what happened? We got a wild storm, and I ran to the station vehicle about half an hour before the storm came in and put my raincoat on. And whenever they see me put my raincoat on, they're like, "Oh, the storm's not coming. You don't need your raincoat." "Oh, yes, I do." And good, there's the rain.
You listened to Frankie. You read the book, you listened to Frankie, because Frankie video calls all of us and gives us heads up about the weather.
And make sure, be extra prepared, monitor your situation, like dark clouds and thunder clouds and hail. You monitor hail, things like this, because hail can damage crops, livestock, things like this.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we were definitely monitoring that hail core to the north of us, that's for sure. But the hail core stayed to our north, so that was a good thing.
All livestock have to get in the barns.
Oh, yes, the livestock. That's right.
Yeah.
I think this hail is about the size of peas and nickels, so it wasn't too large and damaging, but still, it could hurt when it hits you, right?
Down Texas, where Trey Cable lives, they can get baseball to softball or even grapefruit-sized hail where Trey Campbell lives.
Oh yes. And sometimes we can get that size of hail in Alberta too, up to
Oh, there's
softball.
another fan of
grapefruit.
mine.
Oh, another fan. Howdy, y'all.
Come on,
Hi.
man.
We're live streaming. Welcome. Hi. Awesome.
I can't wait for the carload of fans to come.
I know. It's always great when a car full of people just like drives up and starts screaming Frankie.
Yeah, it is amazing.
And that means I got fans over in Portland, Oregon, because I did a weather forecast for them about the dangerous heat heading for Portland, Oregon on August 13th.
Oh yes, the heat dome coming to the west. Yes.
Perfect. So what does that mean for the West Coast? Frankie, you were telling me earlier.
Really dangerous heat West Coast next week. Vancouver, Seattle, Portland will be affected by a monster heat wave.
Sweet. What's the high end of temperature that we can expect?
According to Brian Smith, the Portland weather uncensored temperature will be around 100 degrees Fahrenheit possible. If that's 40 degrees Celsius.
Okay, so 40 degrees Celsius for like Vancouver, Victoria, that kind of area for next week.
It's up to 40 degrees Celsius, which is 100 degrees Fahrenheit for the Americans.
That's a lot of degrees. That is way too many degrees. That's unacceptable. It's inappropriate. I reject this as I reject this reality. I don't like hot weather. So
I love hot weather. I don't know why. That's weird.
You melt in it. You burn. You shouldn't like hot weather. You're so pale. You burn so easily.
I know. However, here it's a little different in Alberta compared to BC coast because you get more of the humidity that you get out there, you know, hot, humid mugginess.
Okay, are you saying that Alberta, the prairies gets more humidity than a tropical island surrounded by nothing but water and soaked in rainforest?
We don't get that much humidity. No. It's like it's a dry heat. It's just this heat pretty much. But there is some humidity sometimes, and that could lead to big storms. And I always hope there's humidity.
Well, I mean, all day today was just clear blue skies, little bit of cottony wisps of cloud floating by. Saw a whole lot of eagles and seagulls and turkey vultures and hawks buzzing around. I'm not even kidding. That was my day today. Blue skies as far as the eye could see. It's getting a little cloudy now and it's threatening some dampness tonight, but tropical island, clear, calm,
Clear.
Another day in paradise.
And you probably wish you were here where it's now clear now. It's like blue sky and everything. It's like nothing even happened if you slept for 3 hours this afternoon. Waking up, what? Did it rain?
You have the threat of rain. You have the threat of tornadoes.
Oh yeah, and then we get shelf clouds, and then you get the big wind blowing your speakers across the road, and then you get a big straight slanted rain that pelts you in the face, and then to the north you get your little pea-sized hailstones, and then actually we had 2 storms go by, actually 3 today. We had one go by to the south, this one that passed through here with the shelf cloud, and then another one right behind it, and that was, well, it wasn't much of a storm, a little bit of thunder, a little lightning, and then a little blast of rain, and then that moved on afterwards. So hey, we still could get another storm this evening.
See, that would be super cool. That would be extra cool to have another storm like just come washing through. Like one ends and then within 20 minutes another one just starts up and you're just pelted again.
It can happen. It could easily happen. That's the fun thing about the prairies. And then you get the people who are like, I don't like thunderstorms, but you know, there's those people who don't like thunderstorms and they're scared of them, and it's okay. That can happen sometimes, but you're in the middle of the prairies here.
It's thunderstorm weather. That's pretty much all you get there. Like,
especially in the summertime, yeah. And then the winter comes and then it's like, now what do I do? Chase snow, I guess. Snow comes to me anyways.
Aw. Well, that's disappointing. I mean, I guess.
Though I am still looking for my first thunder snow experience, you know.
What does that mean? What does that look like?
A thunderstorm and it's snowing. instead.
That means thunder, snow, especially up in Great Lakes region when it's thunder, lightning, snow, when the air is very cold and the Great Lakes are very warm.
Mm-hmm.
So when the Great Lakes get really warm, it causes thunderstorms during the snow.
And when the Great Lakes are up in Ontario, it's really warm and the air is extremely cold at the same time. That cost Buffalo Head over 200 centimeters of snow in some locations.
Oh.
Wow, my severe thunderstorm watch has ended.
Aw,
Look at you, John, guys.
maybe you just need to change the battery in it.
Oh yeah, looks like
That was awful. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. But I'm in a really good mood. I get to see some dogs later tonight. My little
Aw.
friend is not feeling well, but I get to see him. It's yeah, I talk a lot about Sabian. He's stable, but he has good days and bad days. He's had more good days than bad. Yesterday was a really bad day. He had a couple more grand mal seizures. He's, we're kind of focusing on end of life care at the moment. And I get to see him tonight. So I'm in a really good mood because I get to visit with my little dog friend, my big moo dog. So I might be a little extra giggly just because I get to see him. He's such a good boy.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Good as
And
no dog.
I found out that other guy, Joey, he's really busy with kids.
Oh yeah.
What's he doing?
Joey only is busy with kids.
Oh, okay.
His kids, I think. Yeah.
Cool.
Picking up his kids tonight.
He's possible getting deployed for fires this Sunday coming.
Does that? Joey gets to go out and stomp around looking for forest fires, and then he goes to battle with them. And that's super cool.
That means that they're definitely they're going to deploy Joey only for firefighting again next week.
Yes. We look forward to seeing the videos that he makes because some of his stuff is really wild. And if you ever want to know the mechanics of a forest fire, Joey is definitely the guy to explain it. So next time Joey's back, we're going to be talking a lot about what he's been seeing in the forest and what he's been battling and what he's been doing. It's really insane, man.
It is insane. I don't even think I could do that. I like my thunderstorms and supercells and tornadoes.
Once again in the fall, a lot of people going to return to Joey only show.
Oh yes.
Let's hope. I got a soft spot for fire, so I love the videos that he produces and I love hearing about what he's up to. We had talked about having me join him on fire patrol, but there was just some other factors, so I wasn't able to do it this year. We'll see how next year goes. It's kind of 50-50 which way it could go, but it was something that I was actually loving the idea of doing, and I'm really hoping to be able to go out there and do it next year. Just because I think it would be awesome. That'd be so much fun.
Next year. Oh yes.
Hoping I want to be out there dealing with forest fires. Frankie, I won't be setting them.
And that's good. And you might see more thunderstorms maybe if you're out there. Maybe.
Frankie's not listening.
Nope.
And a lot of thunderstorms going on and down in the States too. Great Lakes region and eastern seaboard of the United States and eastern United States in America. It's going to bring dangerous heat in California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, and all these places next week.
Oh yeah. And I think they had tornado today. Where was that? South Dakota, I think.
Yes, it did. And did
Yeah.
you hear about this? This winter coming up in El Nino winter, it's going to bring so much rain in Los Angeles this winter.
Oh, so
Oh yeah.
you got a rain flood. Now, is there any chance that was caused by aliens?
It's the atmospheric river coming all the way from Hawaii in southern hemisphere.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Hawaiian atmospheric river coming from the southern hemisphere is going to cause rain floods, rainstorms in LA, but are those atmospheric rivers being rerouted that direction by aliens? This is what I want to
It's
know.
El Nino. It's El Nino, the warm waters of the Pacific, because they got a big low pressure system in south of Alaska.
Okay, so the heating, the increase in temperature from El Nino, is that caused by swarms of sharks swimming real fast, heating up the water, spiraling out of control, creating underwater sharknadoes?
That's causing a lot of rain off the coast of Ecuador, brought so much tropical rain off the coast of Ecuador. That's warming the equatorial Pacific waters. That's causing El Nino.
That's fair. But how many tarantulas are behind that? Does this affect the tarantula population?
That can affect Australia's brush fires. That's going to affect South Africa. That's going to affect around the world.
Who's going to feel it the worst? Where is it going to have the biggest impact?
It's going to cause less rainfall than normal. Monsoon season in India.
It's going to cause it's going to cause monsoon season in India.
Indonesia, this January coming, it's going to be drier than normal. Monsoon season in Indonesia.
Cool. Okay. Well, that's good news. Or not. I'm not sure what to make of that. I don't know what a monsoon is.
Oh, it's a big rain event. Big rain. Oh, right.
I'm trying to attribute it to aliens. I'm determined
Okay.
aliens are behind some of the weather.
I'll let you talk about aliens. Okay.
You know what? There's so many different types of aliens, and they've got a hand in something. Frankie's on mute, but he's giggling. I don't know if y'all.
Oh yeah, he's giggling. He's laughing. All right.
Yeah.
And different. Around Norway, they had major flood, winter of rain, sideways rain in Norway.
In the event of a major flood, what is the likelihood of a giant octopus kind of like being washed on shore?
It could be a slight chance of it.
If given the opportunity, would an octopus eat a poodle? Like if it got washed on the shore and it's trying to get back in the ocean, it sees a poodle, is it going to think, oh, that's delicious and eat it? Or does it just only go for fish?
So they just go for fish and they can eat sharks.
Ooh.
There was I recently read that octopus can be just antagonistic, aggressive jerks. I was reading an article about an aquarium. There was some of the fish were going missing, or some of the fish were being injured, and the staff were trying to figure out what was happening. So they set up cameras, and what they found was that late at night, the octopus in the tank would come out and just like arbitrarily punch a fish and just like smack it around. It was a completely random act of violence on behalf of an octopus, demonstrating that animals are capable of just being jerks the same way people are. So,
well, same with this story I found today out of Texas here. A woman was out using her lawnmower and mowing the grass, and all of a sudden a snake falls out of the sky and hits her right in the head. So she has this snake come out of the sky, and this hawk who's flying around accidentally dropped the snake from the sky, had the snake in its hand, and came down swooping, trying to get the snake back from this woman who's on the lawnmower that's riding around the lawn. And yeah, eventually the hawk got a snake back, but
that is a horrifying afternoon for that lady.
Yeah.
All of a sudden she's fighting a snake, and then a hawk is trying to take the snake away from her while she's fighting it. So now this poor snake is fighting a lady on a lawnmower and a hawk.
Yeah.
This is a bad day for everyone except the hawk. That is truly horrifying. Like, that is the stuff of like horror movies. That is a sequence in a horror movie, I'm sure of it.
Absolutely.
And that happened in Texas, where Trey Campbell is. For anyone who doesn't know who Trey Campbell is, he's a random guy that we all know.
Yes.
And down in Florida, water's so hot in Florida, people couldn't even get cooled off in the beach in Florida because water temperature in Florida is so warm.
Oh yeah, it's like a hot tub. You walk in and whoo, that's hot.
Okay, now when the water gets really hot down there, does that make the alligators that live there more active, or do they just like want to lounge and lie on their back?
That could cause a lot of situation going on, like some of those states, like algae.
Algae blooms.
Oh yes.
Whatever happened with that massive algae bloom that we were looking for a little while ago? Earlier this summer, there was a huge algae bloom off the East Coast. It was swallowing up beaches. It was like just like miles and miles of dead seaweed and algae just washing up on shore, choking out beaches. I haven't heard anything about that in a little while. Do either of you know what happened?
I haven't seen anything.
That's why the lifeguards had to warn people not to go in the water because of that.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
It's probably still there.
It was
Yeah.
really dangerous. Like the rotting seaweed on the shore was giving off a lot of like ammonia and a lot of like just bad smell. Oh, the stench alone was absolutely horrific, but it had also become extremely toxic. So I mean, the fumes from it were apparently pretty horrendous. You don't really think of seaweed in that magnitude, but there were all sorts of health warnings all along the East Coast for that. I'm really curious whatever happened to that.
Yeah, and I haven't heard much about that actually since we first talked about it. So
Yeah.
interesting. It was like it disappeared all of a sudden. Oh, we got
Yeah.
other things to worry about, I guess. But
Yeah, I can't remember what the specific algae was called. I'd have to go look that up. Maybe for next week, I'll actually do a little homework on that one and look it up rather than try to frantically Google it now. Because
Yeah.
boy, without knowing what it was called, it'll take a little while. But I'll look that up for next week and find out what's going on, get an update on that one, because it was pretty serious. Like it was,
Mhm.
it had really choked out a lot of like beaches were not accessible. A lot of beaches were cordoned off. A lot of waters you couldn't go in the water because the toxicity of it. It was bad. It was really brutal. Yeah, so I'm really gonna have to do some reading on that one. In the meantime, I'll just assume that sharks ate it all. Nature's leaders. They kind of came along, chomped it, and ran away. Or maybe they just
Swam away. I don't think they run. I don't think I've ever seen a shark run.
Okay, whales have leg bones, so maybe
Oh, yeah.
whales ate it and
Whales.
ate the algae and used their baleen, filtered out all the good stuff, ate the algae, and then used their weird little whale legs and like scurried off in the water. Did some
Oh, yeah.
like whale.
Ran a marathon and a half.
Exactly. They were out
There
there
you go.
hills and yeah, looking for water aliens, water chupacabras. It turned into this weird, freaky marathon of cryptozoology monsters, racing whales, trying to deal with the algae. It's their
Oh, yeah.
house. Clean it up.
They easily probably ran a 5K, maybe a 10K. Yeah, I'd totally run a 10K after eating all that seaweed.
They do that in their sleep. That's what they do. They swim in their sleep. They run in their sleep. They are the perfect example of endurance. In terms of nature's fitness machines, oh yeah. Fish, nothing but endurance, man. They don't stop.
They just keep swimming. That's exactly what they do. Oh, I mean running.
Same thing. Same thing. Whales are the ones with the leg bones. Fish just have those weird little
Flappy things.
Exactly. They've got little sails all over their little bodies.
Oh, yeah.
Makes them go fast.
Makes them go fast. That's right.
Yeah.
Fish scales.
Yes. Yeah. So oh boy, I'm really hoping for clear weather all weekend. Frankie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
When can we expect the heat wave to be hitting the West Coast?
Sunday, August 13th, 2023, according to Brian Smith of the Portland Weather Uncensored.
Oh boy.
It's
Okay.
going to last until August 17th, according to him.
What's your take on it though?
I just did a forecast for them for Portland, Oregon. It's on my YouTube channel.
Okay, so you agree that a heat wave is likely.
It's going to hit Seattle, Washington, Vancouver, British Columbia, Vancouver Island. It's going to hit Prince Rupert and all these places.
Frankie's instincts tend to be a little bit more accurate than anything else. However, I'm still going to hope for the other direction a little bit. I'm going to hope for a little bit chiller weather than 45 million degrees of burning brimstone. Because this weekend we have, there's a pretty skookum car show coming up at the Wandafuka Rec Center. It's the CC Laid Out Classic Car Show. And I am really looking forward to going to that. It's going to be just, as far as the eye can see, classic cars. It's just, it's art, man. It's beautiful. It's just so nice to be there and just walk around. Dog friendly, kid friendly. I might have to steal a dog to just walk a dog around there. Or I'll take Morbo again. I took my cat last year. He had a lot of fun. He was sniffing tires. He has his favorites. That's for sure. He would walk around, he'd find a car he really likes, and he'd just climb up and like try to nest on the runner boards or try to get in. Really, the guy really has his favorites. So he's got particular styles he really likes. So when he sees a big, bright, glistening fender, he just wants to sit and nest. and just take a nap right there. For the most part, he'll walk around and not care. He does not care about most of what's there. But when he sees something he likes, he knows he likes it. So if I can't borrow a dog or steal a dog or walk a dog, I'll take the cat. But if it's painfully hot, I have to be real careful because he's hairless, and I have to be extra aware of his just keeping him sunblocked and putting a hat on him and keeping him dressed. But he overheats real easy. So definitely one of the things to be aware of with the extreme heat. Hydrate, 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 people.
That's right. Where is my bottle? Oh, there's my bottle of water. Speaking of hydrating.
As we all reach for water.
Yep.
Hydrate.
This is the water I stole from the block party. I brought a whole case of water home too.
You brought a case of water and just went home with a better case of water? Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
Did you just set up a rain barrel or what? Like, is this what you were collecting? Because it's nature's faucet.
Nature's faucet. No, this is all the water that was at the block party. There's a lot of stuff left over, so you can't just sit in the radio station. Gotta go somewhere.
You wandered off with a wheelbarrow full of chips.
Yep, pretty much. Wheelbarrow full of chips, meat, and the only thing I didn't take home was the coleslaw. Oh man, I forgot that. Okay.
What were you thinking? Way to drop the ball, Brandon.
I know. Anyways, so a lot of food.
Good. If you're taking it home by the wheelbarrow, then I'd say that's a pretty decent amount.
Oh yes, and the bowl's about that big, full of corn on the cob. Tabor corn on the cob. That's the good stuff.
I forgot all about the corn.
Mhm.
Okay, now if you don't get through all of the corn, are you going to, now what I recommend is that you go up on your roof and you take it like little tiny javelins and you try to whip it over the neighbor's house.
Oh, that's going to be very tough because the neighbor's house is about 1 kilometer away from here. So
Okay, now given that you're in a first
I need a good throw and a good aim. I might need maybe a t-shirt cannon to get to the neighbor's house.
Oh, yes. See, t-shirt cannons and potato cannons, they're good for so much more than just t-shirts and potatoes. They're multi-purpose.
There you go.
Now, given where you are, what's the likelihood of seeing a bear in your yard or a coyote or a wolf? Like, can you throw it at a bear?
I don't have any bears. There's a 0 chance of seeing a bear. 0 chance of seeing a wolf, but 100% chance of seeing a coyote or a coyote. And if you're very, very quiet on this show, you might be able to hear them start howling here in the next 10 minutes.
I thought
They live right over there.
Yeah, I heard something, but I thought it was just your mom. I have no reason to take a paw shot at your mom. I've never met your mom. I think she's probably a very nice lady, but
oh, she is. She's awesome. Like, oh my God. She's like somebody that you probably want to hang out with. Oh yes.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, my mom's not someone you want to hang out with. My mom is just a very unpleasant person. So we'll hang out with mom. And some coyotes when you're trying to hit a coyote with corn. You're on your roof, javelin throwing corn at coyotes.
I know. Wouldn't that be that would be awesome. I just got to make sure I miss the cows that are over here, or the horses, but that's about it. Yeah. Maybe go for a gopher. That would be even fun. Oh yeah. Get those gophers.
Okay, now can you load, if you catch a gopher, can you load it into a slingshot and slingshot the gopher at a coyote?
Oh, of course.
Okay, if you
I'll totally do that.
If you need to make a coyote go away, is this a realistic line of defense? In terms of summer safety, when you're out hiking around in the prairies, you see a coyote coming, is it feasible to just grab a gopher out of a gopher hole, load it into a slingshot, just reach down and just poing? Can you do that? Please tell me you can do this.
Now, if I take my little my little pellet gun here and I give the gopher a little massage, and then I take the gopher and I put it in the thing, then I'll shoot the thing at the coyote. Yeah, that'd make a lot of sense, right? right. Me trying to chase the gopher because they're so freaking fast going down that little hole, and the hole's about that big, so you can't even get your arm down there. However, another thing we can do is you can take a hose and you can take a garden hose, put it right down the gopher hole and drown them out. That's another way to get the gophers out of the hole, or they run out the other hole and then you go and catch the gophers. So those are two different options you could use, but Yotes would love the gophers. Now, Yotes around here, you probably think, oh, they're super scary. They're the scariest animal. No, they're not scary at all. They run away from you if they, unless, well, there are some under circumstances that they'll just walk right by you and it's not even look at you. But majority of Yotes will run away from you when they see you. So they're more scared of you than you are of them. So unless they're city Yotes and they're really brave, then they'll be a little more brave. But the Yotes out here in the country where they don't even see people, or they just stay away from you. So you can go out and shout all you want and the Yotes will run away.
See, I like getting a little Caddyshack with it. I'm somehow hearing Bill Murray's voice in the back of my head, you know, on the gopher hunt. I feel like somewhere Bill Murray has slingshot a gopher at something or someone.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if anybody slingshot a gopher out here in the prairies, because, well, especially in Saskatchewan, those folks, they're crazy people. So you never know that they'd like to take Gainer the gopher, that guy in the costume there, and try to shoot him, but he's too big, so he gets to shoot t-shirt cannons himself. So there you go.
Who's the gopher guy?
Gainer the gopher is the Saskatchewan Rough Riders mascot. It's a gopher, a guy in a gopher suit.
See, that's pretty
Or
awesome.
even better, Balzac Billy over here in Airdrie, the groundhog, who's a guy in a suit, in a gopher suit. He could do some t-shirt cannon stuff. Yes, our groundhog can run the t-shirt cannon himself. That's ridiculous.
Say Balzac Billy.
Yeah, that's his name, Balzac Billy.
Okay, wasn't sure I heard you clear.
From Balzac, Alberta. There you go.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I wasn't sure if it was just a really unfortunate name or if it had some actual reference or tie-in.
I saw him at the Stampede Parade a few years ago, and I was trying to get a picture of him, but he ran away from me, and I'm disappointed.
Well, because he thought you were his shadow, and it means 6 more weeks of slingshotting gophers.
That's right. So,
well, fine. Okay.
And if Ontario gets really cold air and the Great Lakes are still really warm, that's going to cause a lot of snow squalls in Ontario this winter coming.
Doesn't Ontario normally get a lot of snow?
Because the Great Lakes are very warm and the air is very cold.
Ah, okay.
good old Ontario, and there's snowy squalls.
Yeah, they get a lot of more difficult weather than we do here. Our winter's here. Like, I'm looking outside right now and it's like we've got a little bit of clouds.
Mm-hmm.
I'd heard rumors that there was going to be rain and kind of stormy weather today, but no, it's been blue skies. And
I took it all myself. That's where all the rain and stormy weather has.
you did.
I steal everybody's weather. You know that, right?
Yeah,
I'm very good at that.
you're a
There's
storm hawk.
another typhoon aiming towards Japan this weekend and next week.
Yes, that would be wouldn't that? Oh yeah, and then we have to watch that hurricane that's going to cross the international date line. That's Hurricane Dora, and it crosses the international date line. And know what happens to Hurricane Dora? It becomes a typhoon.
They become a typhoon.
Yes.
Why does it become a typhoon? Is that because it crosses the international date line? Isn't that
Yep.
terrible?
Yes, it does.
It's
Okay, so
weird how that works.
So when it starts, okay, so when a hurricane starts traveling through time, it changes shape and turns into another weather system. So it goes from a hurricane to a typhoon because it's traveled through time. Is that correct?
Well,
I believe that's correct.
hurricane and typhoons are the same thing. They're just called different things at different areas.
Ruin it for me.
I know, I just ruined it. That's what I do.
It's a mystery, Brandon. See, magic is real to me. Wrestling is real to me.
Yeah.
In the right circumstance, Santa Claus is real to me. So
Oh, yeah.
it's a mystery and keep some magic. It's a whole other thing because it traveled through time. And that's what makes it a magical event.
Well, that's what I do. I steal storms and I ruin magic. That's
You've just destroyed magic. On some level, I'm cursing you, Brandon. I'm thinking a lot of 4-letter words right now because you
Oh, yes. Yeah. Don't worry, my boss cursed me today for the weather, so
curse you on the air. No.
no, not on the air. No. This happens off the air when I'm getting really giddy and excited for a storm cloud to roll in.
Off with a wheelbarrow full of potato chips.
And then I walk off with a wheelbarrow full of potato chips afterwards.
And
That's how it works.
Earlier this week, Venezuela had a 4.8 magnitude earthquake.
Oh, okay. That seems kind of important. When was that?
Earlier in the week.
What was the damage like? What part of Venezuela?
It's somewhat, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Venezuela got hit with a bad earthquake. Sorry to hear that, Venezuela.
Oh.
I shouldn't laugh, but thanks for bringing that right out of the blue. Now, to be fair, Frankie usually predicts bad earthquakes, so if Frankie didn't predict it, I'm guessing it was not a major disaster.
Yeah,
Right.
4.2 is pretty low, on the low end, I think.
Frankie's the bearer of horrifying news. Not bad news, but horrifying news. He predicts it ahead of time, and then it happens, and it's always when there's like major destruction. So I guess if Frankie didn't predict it, it wouldn't be a real bad one. It's manageable, but still a bad day.
So yeah, Frankie's the bearer of horrible news. I'm the bearer of bad news. That's how it goes around here sometimes. Yeah.
That's the hierarchy. Okay. I wasn't totally clear because sometimes y'all trade off, but then Frankie will come out of left field with something absolutely horrendous. And you see, I still think that Frankie makes it happen. To predict earthquakes of the volume that he's predicted, oh, it's a little too freaky. Frankie's causing them, man. He's got something going on, just shifting the tectonic plates around and making it happen. But telling us ahead of time, that's seriously sinister.
Oh yeah.
So the
I think there's more fans coming.
Oh, there always is. There's a
I
trickle of
could
them.
tell.
There's a stream.
I could tell. There might be some more fans.
Yep. Awesome. All right.
Awesome.
So, what's your weather forecast for the next week for Brooks, Alberta?
Well, for the next week after today's fun weather, tomorrow won't be as fun. I'm kind of disappointed, but we're going to be in for some kind of coolish, little unsettled weather into the weekend here. We'll probably get to about 20. Saturday will likely be the coolest of the next 10 days at 23 degrees, if you call that cool. But it's for us, it's on the cool side. We're just a couple degrees below average there. And then as we go on in next week, we raise the temperature one more time back to the 30s and back to the heat. And oh man, I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. See, around here, what we're expecting for weather is just a whole lot of blue skies, a little bit of cloud here and there, little wisps of like, I don't know, it's like you broke a Q-tip and there's just this little tiny trickle of cotton streaked across the sky, barely a hint, a wisp.
So that would be cirrus clouds. There you go. I know what kind of clouds you saw today. There.
Yes. See,
I'm good.
Yeah, see, that's the yeah. You've got all the technical information. I should know this stuff, but I prefer cotton and
Cotton.
yeah.
Cotton clouds. Oh,
You know what? When it's real thick, that's where you got Care Bears hanging out up there. But when it's real thin, they're just dropping from the sky because they got nothing to stand on. And that's what we're expecting. It's bad weather for Care Bears because their home is ruined because we got no clouds. It's a lot of blue skies and sunshine. Frankie's saying we got a heat wave coming up that's going to be pushing 40 degrees. I'm seeing stuff closer to, I'm saying it's going to be closer to like 26 to 28 on the high, lows of 13, 14 later at night or right before sunrise, depending on where you are. If you're right down at the water where it's the coolest, then yeah, a lot of clear skies, little bits of wispy clouds floating around.
Yeah, and maybe, and I would not rule out maybe a fog on the coast, the immediate coast, like the north coast or something like that. Yeah.
Well, the north coast, maybe. I'm
Oh,
not.
yeah. They always get the fog up there. They like the fog up at Port Hardy there. Yeah.
It's one of the things I remember about Port Hardy was it was very rainy and it was very foggy. There was a lot of gray. Just as far as the eye could see was gray.
And no flipping thunderstorms. I was there for a summer, and I have to confirm the thunderstorms are brutal there. I was watching all the storms happening back here, and like, okay, I'll go back to my Alberta storm country here.
Yeah.
Had enough of this.
Right? The other tip of the island is boring weather in a different direction. It's just damp, it's monotonous, it's gray, overcast, rain, clouds. The ocean is dark and gray because all you're seeing is the reflection of those dark gray rain clouds constantly reflected.
Oh, yeah.
Tip, it's all blue. Blue sky, blue water. We go from gray
Sunburn weather.
Right? Monochrome. The island is soaked in monochrome weather. That's, yeah. Boring. Fabulous when you want that, but when you want to see lightning and thunder and the gates of hell open up and just like all sorts of crazy stuff happening, this is not the place to be. This is the place to be when you want more blue skies. Just blue sky. Good hiking weather, that's for sure. Good for taking the dogs out to the park. Good for walking your cat. That's what it's good for. Good to relax. Frankie's giggling. Frankie can't walk in the cat. It's a thing. I'm not the only one who does it here. Seriously, there's a lot of people who take their cats out, leash them up, put them on a harness, whatever, walk the cat. It's common. A lot of people do it. All right. Frankie, do you want to wrap us up?
Yes, if you want to follow my social media, my Twitter is @FrankieMacD, my Facebook is Frankie MacDown, my Instagram is Frankie MacD984, my TikTok is FrankDown984, my Clive is FrankDown984, my Twitch is FrankDown984, my YouTube channel is Stocks Wolves, my Snapchat is Frankie MacDon, and my LinkedIn is Frankie MacDown. Best luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDown. You're listening to Comediorological Weather Report every Thursday nights.
That's right. Brandon, do you want to sign yourself off?
Sign myself off. All right. So you can follow me at the Hocus Pocus on the Twitter, or the Doppler Boy on the Insta, or just Brandon Hoke on Facebook. And we thank you for watching this great show that we have. I had to turn the light on because I was looking like a phantom on here, sitting in the dark.
Dear Lord, you are ghostly pale. I don't know how that happens. Like, look,
Oh, hold on. I got to change the lighting here.
you have scorching sun and
There.
you're still that pale. You just
There, not as pale. We're more pinkish, I guess. Whatever you call that.
lights. You're artificially tinting yourself.
Yeah, that's what I do. Tinting my lights. There we go. I look normal now, sort of.
Awesome. You know what? You and Frankie really need like just put everything on Linktree, and then you can just say on Linktree at whatever, and that's got all of your listings. All of my stuff. I'm at www.imogen.in. All of my stuff's there. All my blogs, all the links to everything. If anyone actually wants to find me, and it gets weird when people do. Just saying. Got another creepy fan letter the other day. I don't know what possesses some people to write the things they do, but at the very least, it can be pretty funny. Just not something I'm gonna go into detail on here. But yeah, it's a little. I can't relate to some people. But yeah, so on that note, y'all been watching the Comediorological Report on Shaw Spotlight. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night. Enjoy your terrible weather or great weather, depending on how you frame it and what you're into. Chase those storms, guys.